Power often lies not in speaking, but in mastering silence until the decisive moment. Because silence in its truest form is not absence but presence, a charged and deliberate state that unsettles those who confront it, forcing them to wrestle with uncertainty and meaning in ways they cannot control. And it is here that the lessons of Machiavelli and the drama of the silent patient intersect, revealing that silence itself can be the most cunning and devastating strategy. For Alicia's refusal to speak is not a passive act but an exercise in dominance, a quiet throne from which she exerts influence over everyone in her orbit, particularly Theo, who is driven to unravel her mystery as if the restoration of his own power depends upon it. Yet every attempt he makes to crack her silence only tightens the noose around him, illustrating Machiavelli's principle that the more one exposes their intentions, the more vulnerable they become, while the one who conceals, delays, and withholds retains the advantage. For in a game of power perception, what is not said often weighs heavier than what is spoken aloud, and Alicia becomes both prisoner and ruler within her muteness, commanding attention, destabilizing authority, and creating an aura that magnifies her influence. Because, as Machiavelli would argue, a ruler need not be loved or even understood, only feared and obeyed. And fear in this case is not born from violence, but from the abyss of silence, that unanswerable void that compels others to act, to speculate, to pursue, and in doing so reveal their weaknesses. And Theo, like a prince intoxicated with the illusion of control, believes he can break her, that by decoding her silence he can claim victory. But Machiavelli warns that fortune favors those who remain inscrutable, those who strike only when the moment demands, and Alicia embodies this by waiting, by crafting her silence as the perfect disguise until the moment of revelation, when the truth exposes not her fragility but Theo's corruption, reversing the power dynamic entirely. For what greater demonstration of Machiavellian cunning exists than to endure, to conceal one's hand, and to watch as the ambitious destroy themselves through their own eagerness to dominate? And so the silence that seemed to cage her was in fact her strongest weapon, a fortress of invisibility that allowed her to control the field without lifting a finger, a strategy Machiavelli himself might have admired. Because appearances matter more than truth, and Alicia's appearance of helplessness was the greatest deceit, one that lured Theo into a trap of his own making, proving that silence can speak with more ferocity than words. And the decisive moment is not when she first refuses to talk, but when she finally does. When the mask falls and the narrative collapses upon the would-be manipulator, reminding us that Machiavelli's wisdom is not only about the sword or the throne, but about the mastery of perception, about knowing when to conceal, when to reveal, and above all, when to strike. For silence is not submission but strategy, not emptiness but control. And in the end, it is Alicia who demonstrates the ultimate keynote of power, that the ruler is the one who can remain patient, endure uncertainty, and let others undo themselves while she waits, silent but victorious.